Okay, so quickly, my experience with cancer, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2005, and I had DCIS, LCIS in my left breast. So to make a long story short, I ended up getting bilateral mastectomies and with the tram flap reconstruction. And it turned out after the pathology, I had the same pathology in my right breast. So for me, that was really a good decision. And from then on, I've actually been a patient navigator with navigated women who've had breast cancer, who opt to get, or not opt, who have to have maybe a mastectomy and reconstruction. And I saw about 20 to 25 women through that process. And I would go to the doctors with them, and we would discuss, game plans. And, most of it was about empowering them to do things to help their own recovery. And that's how I look at this yoga class, is that I'm giving you tools, whether you are still getting treatment or whether you're years out of treatment. These are tools that'll help help keep you young and healthy. So I practiced yoga for 30 years, yoga, meditation, and studied yogic philosophy. And I'm an educator by training, and I've been teaching yoga for the last 12 years, actually since 2008. Yeah, so for 12 years. And since 2012 for Image Reborn. And I took up Reiki in 2018, and I'm a Reiki master, but I mostly use it for my breast cancer for these classes. And actually I've got a private group going on where I love Reiki and I love yoga both, and they have so much in common. They use meditation, they use visualization, they work with life force energy, what we call life force energy, prana in yoga, chi in Chinese medicine, and in Reiki, it's ki. So Reiki means universal life force, and the ki, chi, and prana are all the same. So I sort of intermingle them with whatever, practice I'm doing. So we'll be doing some Reiki practices to cultivate and to first of all, become aware of prana and life force in your body, and then to actually cultivate it. And we're going to end with a short Reiki self-treatment. And basically it's a 15-minute treatment, and you'll be able to come back to it, I guess, on this recording. And you can do this at home. I use it when I wake up at night. I mean, I do the treatment 2 or 3 times a week. And then when I wake up at night, I use it and I'm back to sleep in no time at all. So it's been really valuable to me. And it's great for relaxing, improving immune function. It helps anxiety. It helps you react differently to stress. So let's begin. And we're going to do the first part of the practice sitting in a chair, just because we're going to be sitting for a little while. And sometimes, I know even for me, sitting on the floor can be challenging. So, and we'll have a chair at the end of the class for an inversion. So chairs are the best. And let me make sure that you can see. Yeah, how's that look, Ellie? So we're going to come to a posture in yoga called easy seat or Sukhasana. And feet flat on the floor. And pull the hips back so you can really feel your sits bones. And you're more toward the front of your chair. And your feet are grounding. And I'll wait for everybody to get there. One of my teachers has a funny line. So, a lot of times you'll be sitting at your computer and, he calls it slumpasana. So, and I catch myself doing it if I'm knitting at night, slumpasana, you're slumped over. Well, in this position, the energy can't flow as smoothly because your spine is compressed. So from slumpasana, we move into Sukhasana, easy seat, sitting nice and tall, lifting through the crown, seated in the chair. And we're just going to begin by closing our eyes and inhaling the arms up. And just trust me here, and palms together, bringing them down to the heart, connecting with the heart space, Untitled Chakra. And feel that your thumbs are just resting on the ledge of the heart. And we're going to center ourselves in this practice. Anjali Mudra is a mudra is a gesture or a seal in yoga. And Reiki also uses this hand position. It's called Gasho. And we're focusing on gratitude, reverence, and calming the central nervous system. And let's just begin a 4-part breathing practice. So you're going to inhale through the nose. You're going to pause. You're going to exhale through the nose and pause. Very easy. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause, and continue this on your own. I love this breathing pattern because the pause really connects us to stillness. In that pause, we've suspended breathing just for that second. And we can just begin to feel like what stillness is. And it's in that stillness that we can become connected to our inner space, that inner awareness. So 2 more times. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Now bring your hands down to your thighs, and when you face them down, that means you're grounding. So you're grounding into our root chakra. It's the earth energy, and it's at the tip of the tailbone. And just start breathing and feeling the breath. Place your hand on your low belly and just begin feeling the breath going into that lower chakra. And in yogic philosophy, that chakra is represented by the color red. Now move your hand up to about where the sacrum would be. And begin inhaling and expanding the sacrum, exhaling, contracting it. And it's at the sacrum, we have the Sacral Chakra, called Svadhisthana Chakra. And it's just represented by the color orange. And just breathing deep, really expanding on that inhale. Contracting on the exhale. Now bring the hand up to the solar plexus, right above the navel, below your bra strap. So it's right in between here. And feel an expansion as you're inhaling, contraction as you're exhaling. And this is Manipura Chakra. And it's the solar plexus. So it has to do with digestion and our inner strength and our inner power. Now bring your hand up to your heart and begin inhaling into the heart space. So I actually feel that the ribs are expanding and the ribs are contracting. Front body, ribs, and back. Inhale, expand, exhale, contract. And the heart space is the color green, Anahata Chakra. Now bring one of your hands up to the pit of the throat and begin to feel An expansion in the throat chakra. And it's the color blue, kind of a deep sky blue. Vishuddha chakra. And it has to do with communication and speaking our words and speaking in alignment with who we are. And now bring your fingertips to the space between the eyebrows. Anya chakra. And it's the third eye. It's the color indigo. And it's actually located, you come down from the crown chakra, right at the pineal gland. Or pineal gland, it's pronounced both ways. And this is the seat of our intuition, our inner knowing. And then bring one hand up to the crown chakra. And it's Sukhasana chakra, the color white, violet, or gold. And it's sometimes visualized as the 1,000-petaled lotus. It's like a white 1,000-petaled lotus. And it just opens us up to the energy of the universe. So we connect through the crown, we connect through the root. And then as we sit tall in this practice, we create space, internal space, so that prana can come in and heal us. Healing, meaning becoming whole again. So just sit here and tap into that inner awareness. Focus on that space between the eyebrows. And just become aware of any shifts in the physical body, any pulsations. You may feel a feeling of coolness or warmth. My stomach just growled, and that's actually a sign that my body's calming down. It's going into the rest and digest. So if you feel a little rumble, that's a good thing. You might feel a twitch, or you might feel something that really is unique to you. And very slowly open your eyes. And we can feel that, or I can feel, and I'm hoping you can, that you've already shifted into this kind of different state of being, a more centered, calm, and relaxed state of being. So I'm going to show you a tool today. In fact, I'm going to take my watch off because it's going to get in my way. So in this class too, I also show you acupressure points. And I refer to Chinese medicine because I think a lot of us have had acupuncture. And I'm kind of a science nerd. And a friend of mine who's a yoga therapist, she and I just laugh about this because I always want to know why things work. You know, I just have to have a reason. And sometimes that's just not possible with yoga. But looking at some of the meridians in our body, I become more familiar with them. And they really can help. Little techniques can help. So in our hand, our thumb is the end really of the lung meridian. Our middle finger is the pericardium meridian. I mean, our middle finger. Our little finger is the heart meridian. So these three meridians, thumb, middle finger, and heart, are all yin meridians. So yin means to be more calming and relaxing. Yangs, yin and yang are opposites, but they are balancers. They balance one another. So in the yin meridians, it promotes calmness and healing, and they all promote flow. But I'm going to show you a little practice that I think is pretty neat. So come down from the tip of the middle finger, which is the end of the pericardium meridian, and just draw a line down and come to where the crease in the wrist is. And then put two fingers there And then right at the bottom of the 2 fingers, I want you to just press on it. You'll feel a cord, kind of. So take your thumb and put it 2 inches below that wrist crease and just begin massaging it. Now I'm doing my left hand. You can do either one. And then just bring it to your chest and continue to massage that. And then if it's comfortable for you, go to the 4-part breath. So inhale, pause, exhale. Pause, inhale, pause, exhale. Pause, and do that breath work on your own. And this short practice is to help decrease anxiety. And it's an easy one to use because really you can use it at the doctor's office if you're sitting in a place that I mean, if I go in the doctor's office now, I mean, I'm breast cancer free. I mean, I still get anxious, and it's I think it was that trauma originally from being diagnosed. So that's a great trick. All right, let's begin a Reiki practice. So we just experienced sensations in the body, and that really is life force or chi moving through our body. I mean, it's that simple. In yoga, we call it the subtle energy body, and it's subtle. That's a really good description of it. So let's just begin by rubbing our hands together. We have chakras, and of course, you know now we have meridian points in our hands. And you may feel some energy happening down the back of your neck and shoulders. So bring the hands out, and we're just going to create an energy ball. And I want you to focus on the space between your hands, and bring your fingers in a soft curve, and they're close together. And then just sense what's happening between your hands, and bring them closer together but not touching. And then just begin to start like if you were a sculptor sculpting a ball. And then come to a place where you can hold your hands together and just feel. It could be a vibration, but energy bouncing back from your hands. And now we're going to bring it down to our lower chakras, the ones belly button and below, and we're just going to bring it around. So it's just gathering energy, bringing it back to the chakras, 3 lower chakras, root, sacrum, and solar plexus. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring it to the heart, and bringing prana, life force, to the heart. And then we're going to bring it to the crown. And then we're going to come down, and we're actually going to take our hands, and we're going to do a facial massage of the energy points in our head, neck, and arms. So just cover your eyes with your hands. And then begin using your fingertips and just gently massaging up to the top of the hairline, and then down the sides, through the temples, and down to the jaw. This is a place, temples and jaw are a place where we can hold tension. So we want to focus on those. Down the jaw, to the chin, up above the mouth, just right to the outside of the nostril. There's an indentation that helps loosen the sinuses, actually, if you're stuffed up. And back up to the orbits of the eyes. That's the bone that surrounds your eyes, so across the eyebrow. And to the inner, under the orbit underneath and to the inner eye. And then back to the place between the temple and the jaw. And then just grab your earlobes and just begin. We have acupressure points on the earlobes. And massaging them with 2 fingers all the way down, tugging on the earlobe. And then bring your fingers back up to the top of the earlobe and then just come down, and you'll feel a ridge. Stay within this middle of that ridge. There's like a little indentation, and there's a point in there called Shenmen. And the inner gate, I think it's called something like that. And it helps with anxiety too. And pull on the earlobe a couple more times. Now come down to the shoulders and just bring the skin from the trapezius, the shoulder muscles, just forward. And just like you're trying to pull it to the top of your shoulder. Maybe out a little bit wider if that works for you. And then to your right shoulder, we're going to down your arm. So we're just going to come to the skin and take the fingertips. And the skin has lymphatic receptors. So if you've ever had lymphedema, this next section will be good. But it is also good for getting prana and life force to flow. So those receptors are beginning to wake up. And then we're going to turn the palm up and just start massaging the hand. So now we're going to get all the meridian, the lung, the pericardium, and the heart. So just like you're maybe kneading some bread. And it also is working on the lymph. And maybe down into the axilla. And then on this side, lung 1 and 2, the beginning of the lung meridian, start right here. So feel the clavicle and then come down right below. There's an indentation, and just gently tap on this. Okay, and now let's come over to the other arm. And again, fingertips. So we wake up those lymphatic receptors. We have lymph nodes in all the pits of the body, like the arm, the crease of the arm, the axilla, into the stomach area, in the groin. So it's great to massage these areas to get life force to flow. Okay, and now start with your massage. So we're beginning to activate the lung, the pericardium, and the heart. Back to the shoulder. Back to lung 1 and 2. They're just right on top of each other. Clavicle, down to that indentation. And then coming further into the clavicle, we have kidney 27. And just start gently tapping on kidney 27. I love working. We're going to work more with the kidneys today. Kidney meridian. The kidneys are thought to hold our essence of chi, or ki, prana. That's what we were born with, actually. And now come down to the sternum, and we begin to just tap on the sternum. This activates the thymus gland, which is has to do with immune function. And in yoga, and then just place your hands there on that high heart. This is the high heart. This is another smaller chakra. And it's a color like a light pink, like rose quartz. And then bring your hands down, close your eyes. And again, let's sense what's going on in the body. Any sensations? Any pulsations? Even in your fingertips, at your throat. And slowly open your eyes. Okay, we are now going to go down to the floor, and we're going to begin in Dandasana. So move your chair aside, but have it in a place where you can easily grab it. And I might have to switch my view a little bit. There. Okay. And what I use for Dandasana is called staff pose. And it's a great pose for counteracting slumpasana. So I'm going to end up facing you, but I'm going to show it to you on the side. So I've got my bolster, or so you can also use your roll towel. I have back and hip issues, so I really need to lift a lot. But you want to make sure that your hips are above your knees. That way you can really get that curve of the spine. And then I pull the flesh on my hips back and place my arms behind me. Really open my chest. So now that you can see it from the side, you can see the curve in my lower spine. I'm actually going to face you the way I can see you better. I mean, if we were in person, I would probably stay that direction, but it's hard on Zoom. So find your comfort. Let's begin by inhaling and really feel the inhale into the heart space area in the Untitled Chakra. So even though you're going into the belly, we want to really feel the ribs expand. This is heart and lungs. One more deep breath. Now you can bring one leg in. If that works for you. It doesn't matter how far, it can just be out this far. And so if you're using your left leg, your left arm comes up. And we're just going to do a gentle twist. So we're going to bring the outside of the elbow and the inside of that knee. Doesn't matter which side you're doing. And then we're just going to gently twist. And I've got my hands on my fingertips. My arms are short. You may want to use your fist, or if you have long arms, your wrist. And just look to the side. Now practice that inhale into the opposite rib. Feel the intercostals expanding with each breath. And again, it's that 4-part breath. This is a version of Matsyendrasana. Again, now switch legs, side, whichever leg out, and then bring the other one in. I'm actually on my right side. And I'm going to inhale the same arm up and just bring it down the front of my face, actually. And I'm just going to twist. And with each inhale, you want to extend the spine. And then with each exhale, you want to keep that extension. So what we're doing is we're creating space between the vertebrae. We're counteracting compression, gravity, and slumpasana. And release the pose. And now you can bring both knees at a soft bend. And we're just going to begin to trace the meridian lines kind of in a massage. And so actually, you're going to start in the back with the back of your, back of the top of your hand. Just start a little tapping in the kidney area. And then come down the outside of the legs, actually to the back of the legs. That's the bladder meridian. And then coming up above your ankle, about, I think it's 3 fingers. And we have some, I think it's kidney 7 to 9. And you can always sort of tell you're on the right spot. Like come up from the ankle 3 fingers, and it'll be a little bit tender. And so let's just gently massage that and actually keep the spine straight. So we're getting a stretch in the hip area. We're also stimulating, activating that meridian. It continues up, and then it continues to the groin, come across the top of the legs and begin again. Kidneys. And around. And back up. Last time. Kidneys. Around the outside and the back of the leg. And complete the practice. And just sit for a minute in Dandasana. And again, we come back to that sensation, feeling the sensations. What's going on inside the body? Now we're going to transition to the floor. And see, you'll want to have all your props kind of handy because we will be using them at some point. So let's begin on our back. And see, you guys can see me. So let's, even if you don't have a yoga mat, just imagine, I want your feet as wide, if it's comfortable for you, as wide as the yoga mat, and just your hands on the floor. And we're just going to begin by window wipers, like window wipers, cleaning our car windshield. So we keep the feet flat. And you may want to experiment with the distance. The further away, probably, the more gentler it is. And just take it just to the edge. We're not pushing anything here. This is just a gentle twist. So inhale one direction. And exhale the other direction. So it's long and slow. And come to the top, bring your legs to the top, and then bring them together. And let's take it doesn't matter which leg, just I'm starting with my right. So we're going to cross it over, and if I'm starting with my right, I'm just going to move my hips to the right. Just a very small movement. Again, this is another twist. Twisting movements are great for massaging the internal organs, even when we breathe. So we're going to do, this is like a pumping motion. We just go in, inhaling and exhaling using the breath. We're just going to move from side to side. Even deep conscious breathing massages the organs. That's the beauty of yoga. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. And then take your calf, and this is like one of my favorites. For those of you that have been with me before, you probably remember this. But we start massaging the calf. This is the the bladder channel actually. And it's kind of keeps congestion. I think prana can congest in the calf area on some people. And then now take your leg and cross it all the way over. And then you're going to have the outside of the lower leg being massaged by the standing leg. So we're now actually massaging the gallbladder channel. And switch, and now come, so inside of leg to inside of leg. And again, you know, you can just get that kidney point that we got above the ankle. And then there's a liver point that's right on below the knee, to the inside of the knee and below the knee. Come back to the calf. And then switch sides. For me, this is better than a foam roller. So do the other leg now. So cross it all the way over. So if you've got your left leg crossed over, whatever side you're gonna just twist to that same side. The breathing is again our 4-part breath. Each week we'll learn a different pranayama or breathing practice. So 4-part breath. Inhale and pause. Exhale and pause. And really feel that breath going into the belly. And massage the calf. Outside to outside, so the legs cross completely over. Getting the gallbladder channel, the points along the gallbladder channel. And now go inside. And back to the calf muscle. And legs, this time, bring them toward your hips, so they're hip distance apart. And then I want you to start with your hands out wide, palms up. And inhale. And now cross your arms. And then with your middle fingers, you'll be grabbing the flesh right about where the latissimus starts. So it's about the upper back ribs. And there's a heart point here. And then just begin by just hugging yourself. This is great for the heart chakra, especially the back of the heart. Start to become more aware of the space in the back of the heart. We get a nice massage for our back, and then stretch the arms out one more time, and then cross the other arm over and do the same thing. So where your fingertips are touching, kind of like around at the higher point of maybe your brow line, is that heart point. And coming back down, let's see if you've got a block by any chance, or you've got a rolled towel. In fact, I'm going to do this with a rolled towel. We're just going to do a supported bridge. And so lifting your hips up onto that rolled towel, we get a very gentle inversion. So we're going to roll the shoulders back, really open up through the heart chakra. And just begin that deep breathing, feeling the expansion and the contraction. Feeling the expansion and contraction in the ribs. And inversions are wonderful for moving not only fluids in the body like blood and lymph, but and excess water, moving them back into your system and out. But it's great for moving prana, cleansing the organs, cleansing the glands. And so we sit in this really gentle inversion. At home, if you want to practice this, instead of bridge, you can have your legs up on a chair or legs on the wall. And now if you feel stable enough, we're actually going to do more of an inversion. So you can pop your legs up, flexing the feet, spreading the toes. So spreading the toes spreads the skin on the feet, and this initiates that lymphatic response. So we can massage those lymph glands that are right behind the knees. And you can even play with this a little bit. You can move around. You can do this at home against a wall. Sometimes spending 10 minutes here, if you can tolerate it, is a wonderful way to meditate. And again, making sure that this heart space is really open. Those shoulders are rolled back. The spine is long. And 3 deep breaths. And bring the feet down and remove your prop. And then roll over on your side. Rest here for a minute, actually a few seconds. And then push yourself up. And we're going to prepare for the Reiki self-practice, or self-treatment, I should say. So using whatever prop you're using as a bolster, I'm going to have, if I'm going to lay this direction with my head, I would have this underneath, my bolster underneath my thighs. I would get my blanket handy in case you get cold. Then I would have my flat pillow. This would be my setup. Just like this. So this is where my bolster would go. And that's really all I need. And I'm going to lie down in Shavasana. I'll show you what that's like. And then I'm actually going to talk you through the treatment, but I'm going to sit so that you can actually see me better and get closer. So I have my, now remember I had a tram flap. So for me getting up and down, I have to help myself. So I've got my neck supported. And remember, in Reiki, you can either have hands off or hands on. You don't necessarily have to be touching to make the energy work. I'm going to cover myself up. And then again, I'm going to roll my palm, start out with my palms rolled. You're going to be using your hands. But you want to keep yourself open. And you want to find a really nice, relaxed position. If you need more support, you may want to even, if it works for you, have your legs up, your knees together, resting against one another, or actually have your legs up on a chair. So you have that option. So take a little time, and I'm going to come closer to you so I can see what's going on. Actually, I'm going to do it just seated in Virasana, supported. Okay. All right. Perfect. So let's just begin by rubbing our hands together and taking a couple deep breaths and just saying to yourself that I am doing the Reiki self-treatment 3 times. I am doing the Reiki self-treatment. And I am doing the Reiki self-treatment. And just begin by having your palms of your hands over your eyes. And then you can rest your, sometimes my students' arms get tired. Just rest them on your chest, even if your head just comes forward a little bit, wherever you can find comfortable. And you can have your hands off of your eyes too. That makes it easier. Reiki energy, life force energy, has an intelligence to it. So in yoga, we can direct this energy. And in Reiki, we direct it too, but it also goes where it needs to go. So when you're going through this treatment, you may feel it in a different part of the body. So hands covering the eyes and allowing the sockets of the eyes just to sink downward. And now bringing him to the top of the head. And again, my fingertips are close together and gently curved. And when I have them at the crown, where I do now, my fingertips are facing to the back. But you can do them whatever, either way. What if they're from side to side? Whatever makes you comfortable. Begin to focus your awareness on the place where your hands meet the body, just like we did at the beginning of class. Now bring them to the back of the head, so your fingertips will be touching the occipital bone. And in yoga, this is near a yogic point called Bindu. And it's a point we use in meditation. Again, hands off. You may want to experiment. Just allow the breath to be soft and slow and natural. Now bring them down to either side of your neck. Maybe the fingertips are touching. Melting any tension. Feel your jaw relax. And we're at the throat chakra. And that's my bird singing to you. And now bring your right hand to your throat, right over the throat chakra, and your left hand over your heart. And next hand position is over the solar plexus. And just the middle fingers touching. And then down to this in front of the sacrum. And middle fingers touching. And then right to the creases of the thigh, where the thigh comes into the hip. And then to one knee, or actually I guess you can do both knees at the same time. So either the tops of the knees, just cradle your knees. So you may have to bring them closer to your body. Yeah. Slide the feet toward your hips. Now, if it works for you to bring your left leg in so that you can do your feet, you either do the ankles, or you can have one hand on top of the foot, one hand on the bottom, if you can reach, if it's comfortable. If not, just do the lower leg or the ankles. So you can do this practice at home. You can do it sitting in a chair too. And slide that leg out and bring the other leg in. So you can either do the leg on either side, the ankle, or the top and bottom of the foot. And then the next hand position is hands back on the sacrum. So you may not be able to reach that far, but take them maybe to the side of the hips. If you can actually flexible enough to reach back, that's great. And then if you can just nudge them up into the lumbar spine a little further, or even either side of the lumbar spine. Focusing awareness on the place between your hands and your hips, or your lumbar area. And then both hands forward with your hands resting on your shoulders. Now bring your right head over the crown. Your left hand will be out from the root chakra. Right hand to your third eye, palm of the hand. Left hand over the sacrum. Right hand over the throat. Left hand under the chest, right at the solar plexus. Both hands to the heart. And then we'll just begin a sweeping practice where we start our hands at the top of our head. Just allow our fingertips to just sweep away any unnecessary energy. And just bring your hands to Gasho, to Anjali Mudra at the heart. Becoming aware of any inner sensations. And just allowing some integration to happen. And come back to that 4-part breath. Inhale. Pause, exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause, exhale. Pause, inhale. Pause, exhale. Pause. And drop your arms to your side and just begin to wiggle your feet and your toes. Becoming more aware of the space around you. Maybe the air touching your skin, the noises in the room. And slowly roll over to your right side. And push yourself up. Okay, I made it just a few minutes past 11. Okay, any questions? Is everybody awake?
Yeah. That's very relaxing.
I know. Well, that's the purpose.
Yeah.
Any questions or thoughts? Well, we'll do something similar next month. I'll always bring in some, you know, usually my yoga is pretty similar, but if you feel comfortable on your hands and knees, we can work from the hands and knees too. So we can get some flows, a few very basic flows going to get the energy to flow. But you should feel really centered today. You should, you know, once you get going, you should feel energetic. This practice brings vitality into the body and the mind and the spirit. And that's the whole purpose. So namaste.
Namaste.
It was nice seeing all of you.
Thanks, Susan.
That was so beautiful. Thank you. I feel like that's like an act of self-love, you know, to just.
Yes, I mean, it totally is, especially, you know, this is sort of the apex of that. Yeah, it is. It's self-love. It's basically a self-care. It's a self-care practice, and we all need more of that.
Yeah, giving our bodies a break. We carry so much.
Well, and especially this last year. I mean, even me, I think I'm always so busy. It's like, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm cleaning house, I'm doing all this stuff, but we need to take time. And I do have a ritual. I think ritual is really important. Late in the afternoon, I go up, I take a jacuzzi tub, and I've got a little gua sha stone, and I work my legs and my hips, you know, everywhere where I have this chronic pain. But, and if you're interested in doing gua sha in the practice, let me know and I can tell you. We can maybe, Allie, maybe you and I can talk about that.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's a neat practice for energetic work and for if you're dealing with pain. And I'd like to bring pain into this in some of the future courses. I'll speak more on that subject because I'm actually working a program now because I've been told I have to have both hips replaced and spinal fusion. And I'm like, what? You know, I'm just not ready for that. So I started an app called Curable, and it's all about they're taking pain as actually, it's a mind thing. It's all in your mind. Because people that have similar MRIs, some will have pain, some won't. And it's based on the work of Dr. John Sarno. And so if you do have chronic pain, look him up, Dr. John Sarno. And he's got a number of books out, and I've been listening to him. I've been following the advice, and actually I've had some relief. So I'm really excited about it. So if your spouse or significant other too has those issues, it's very interesting. So namaste. See you all next time.
Namaste. Have a great weekend, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.